Hey guys, Toby Mathis, and today we're going to be talking about how not to go broke on Black Friday. Heck, the whole holiday season. So let's dive right on in. All right, number one. So we have this thing. It's Black Friday, right? Does everybody know what Black Friday is? This is the day after Thanksgiving where we have been conditioned to want to go out and spend money that we don't have on things that we don't need for other people. I remember this. Hey, these shoes are on sale. So my kids, I'm going to get these shoes. They're on sale. I'll be like, you're buying so much stuff on sale. You're going to save so much money. You're going to be a millionaire, right? That's not how it works. It's money that's leaving your pocket on stuff that maybe you need. Like, I'm not going to tell people, hey, you don't need it. Maybe you want to give gifts. But what you don't need to do is put yourself in financial peril. So think about it like this. If somebody bought you a Christmas present or a holiday present, whatever it is, and you received it and they said, by the way, I really love you, and here's this beautiful gift, and I probably will have to skip a few meals in the next few months because I don't have any money left. Or, hey, this is going to haunt me for the next 10 years and it's going to ultimately lead to my bankruptcy. Would you feel good about getting that gift? See, what they're doing is they have no flipping clue that they're putting, they may be just oblivious. Hey, I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look at my budget because it would scare me, right? Because you're going to put yourself into a tremendous hardship situation unless you budget during the period of time. People say, well, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to get this doorbuster deal. Of course you are. That's why they do it. The retailers are benevolent. They say, you know what, I would love to give you some items that cost me more, but I'll give them to you for less because that's how we stay in business. That's not how it works. They want you to go into their store. Why? Let's think about the psychology of it. It's the 0 interest for 12 months credit card. Why do they give that to you? Because they know that statistically speaking, 80% of the people will violate the terms and not have that 0%, but it'll be on average 18%. When you walk into the store, they know that 80% certainty plus you're going to buy a bunch of other items. I call it the Costco effect. Like, if you ever walk through Costco and you're just like, I'm just going to wander through Costco, I feel like I have like sticky all over me because when I walk out, there's all sorts of items that I've picked up along the way that I didn't intend to pick up because, oh, that's cool. That's cool. There's a pallet of this and it's half gone. I better grab one of those too, right? You walk around Costco. It's like the $200 store is what I call it. It's like you go in and no matter what, hey, I'm just going to go in and get one thing. Hey, I need to pick up the meat for dinner. But somehow I picked up the sous vide and a steamer. I don't know. Like it's like there's all these cool things. Or hey, wine was really it was on sale. I have to save. I'm going to save so much money buying this extra case of wine. No. You have to go in with the budget and you have to go in knowing that the psychology of this is to get you to overspend. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be doing it. It is not for your benefit. They don't say, here's for consumers that we're going to give you this great deal. No, they're getting you in their store. Period. End stop. Full stop. So you have to combat it. Same thing if you go into I'm here in Las Vegas. You go into the casinos, they have an objective when you walk in there. There's no clocks. They pump in oxygen. Why are they doing that? Because they want you to be excited. There's lots of bells and whistles all over the place. They get into the psychology of the ding, 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 ding. You immediately start gambling. The way you combat that is you say, all right, I have $20 that I'll dedicate towards the gambling. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Here's how I recommend you do it. Number one, we always operate off this 70-30 feature. You live off of 70% of whatever you take home. That's your budget. If you're violating this, it's not going to last over the long haul. So you want to get to where you're living off of 70%. If you're living off of 80, 90%, either spend less or make more. Get the side gig, do something to generate extra income. Make sure that you're doing it because these numbers are kind of like, they're kind of like the minimum. If you want to be successful over the long haul, you got to get used to living off of less. You do not want to go into debt during the holiday season and then spend the next half a year or longer trying to pay it back. If you can pay it back, as a lot of people realize, it's never paid back. Do not be giving that gift. Because again, remember, somebody gives you the gift and they say, by the way, I'm going to end up in bankruptcy for giving you that. They wouldn't want you to do that. They would say, time out, Toby, don't do it. It's like your kids. They don't go out and spend $1,000 for you for Christmas if they're little kids. Like, don't do that. I wouldn't want you to do that. I appreciate the gift, but please get me something small, right? That's all we're doing. Don't go crazy. Live underneath this 70. This 30, and this is the magic. And this is after 20 some years of looking at successful investor tax returns and talking to successful investors, reading voraciously on this subject, doing studies of our own, looking at the tax returns of our clients. I can tell you this works. Number one, be a giver. Do not skip this element. You have to be a giver because you reap what you sow in this world. And if you're pushing stuff out there, it'll come back to you. Now, that's not the reason you do it. You do it because it's going to make you feel good and because, well, you should be doing it. Now, if you don't have the money, I tell this to people all the time. If you don't have the money, then swap it with time. Take a portion of your time and donate it to other people. Just do good things out there. You reap what you sow, but this one's like the most magic aspect of it. I remember when I didn't have I was about to say something horrible. I didn't have much money when I was going through college, when I started my practice, I hung my shingle out. I just didn't have a lot of money, but I still managed to find time to donate to other causes, go to Northwest Harvest and stuff, ran a forklift or whatever you have to do. Do it, please, and make that a big staple of your life. You'll be better off because it's not just about the money. I have a friend, Hans, who always says, you could be a rich, miserable bastard because you have the money, but you don't have any fulfillment. This will make sure you're doing the fulfillment. Number two, debt. You pay down debt with 10%. And when I say pay down debt, you're paying the debt out of your budget. Hey, I have a credit card bill, or hey, I have a mortgage. I have some obligation. I'm paying it out of this. This is extra. Now I'm just going to attack that debt, and I'm going to pay it down. I'm going to get vicious with it. And boosh, 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 boosh. If you don't have debt, you're going to move that into this next column, which is your investments. When you overspend on Black Friday, what you're doing is you're guaranteeing that you're going to live in servitude for a little bit longer, unless you're already financially independent. If you're financially independent, you can just kind of say, Toby, shut up. But if you're somebody that's, normal and you're still accumulating assets and you still have to work, you got to put 10% aside into investment accounts. Infinity investing is built towards showing you how to place it and how to get started. So if you don't know, hey, what should I be doing? Go to infinityinvesting.com and immediately start the steps that we show you on diversification and how to get started. So we go there. So we have 10% give, 10% debt, 10% invest. If you don't have debt, roll it into the invest. Now you have 20%. If you are giving time, take the whole 30% and throw it in the invest. But we're budgeting our Black Friday and everything else out of that 70%, guys. And again, two things you could do: spend less or make more. So if you want to spend X number of dollars on Black Friday, write out what you're trying to get. Do not go shopping in the supermarket while you're hungry. What do? Emotional things. Do not go to Black Friday events without a list of who is getting what on your list. Like if you're doing that, like, hey, I need to get a gift for this person, this person, this person. Do not go without that list. Arm yourself with something that is logical, because otherwise you're at their mercy in the emotional. Unless you have, like, you're the most strong-willed person in the world, you'll get in there and all of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, what a great deal that is. If it's not on your list, you're either swapping it out and you're writing something else. Don't do it. It's designed to get you to overspend. You will be sorry if you do it. Now, the only thing we have going for us this year is there's supply chain issues. So hopefully, you'll get in there and you'll really want to buy something and maybe it'll be off the shelf, right? No, I'm just teasing. That's not a good thing, right? It's driving the inflation. If you guys don't know how inflation works, it's demand that pulls the prices up, and the costs are pushing it up because it now costs literally 300% more to get a container from the Far East. If you're shipping in from China, for example, it's about $16,000 for a container that used to cost $3,000 when I used to do a lot of shipping. I'm like, whoa, it's $16,000? Yeah, or more money. Like they dumped a lot of money into the like as in like trillions of dollars, over $10 trillion, the Fed has jumped in this quantitative easing nonsense that they were doing back in the recession. They just dumped a whole bunch of cash. So there's tons of cash chasing fewer goods, which means they're going to be more expensive, which means you have to arm yourself with logical budget saying, all right, I'm not going to do that because it does not fit my budget. And if you find yourself doing, don't do it. The people understand. You don't need to be the Pope. You don't need to be Miss Benevolent. You don't need to be that person that I call it poor and needy. They're the best person on the world, but they don't have any money of their own because they get, I give it to everybody. I give it to my kids. I do this. And then they just end up in a very precarious financial position. And what you'll realize is that sometimes one of those kids comes in to help you, and then you're going to have resentment amongst the other kids, and now you have a big fight, and the very thing that you were trying to do gets destroyed by your conduct. Don't do that. Put yourself on a budget, arm yourself with that budget, and just figure it's your sword against these marketing, beasts that are out there. They're trying to get you to open up your wallet, and just don't do it. This is what I'm willing to spend. This is what I'm going to spend it on. I'll go to Black Friday. I'll enjoy all the festivities. I'll enjoy freezing in line if you're one of those people. Don't be one of those people. Or if you're just doing it online, you're looking for things, don't fall for all the really cool, great deals for 10 minutes only. Oh, I need to buy that. Don't. Get your list, follow your budget, and you won't go broke on Black Friday. All right, if you like this type of content, share it with anybody that you know is an overspender, but also like and subscribe. Like and subscribe because it lets us know what type of content you like. And if you hate it, well, keep it to yourself. No, but if you have a comment, you can absolutely go in there. If you want us to hit other items, you can absolutely do that. But especially if you know the person, you know who I'm talking about, right? It may be you. Send it to yourself. Hey, watch this again, right? But send it to somebody so that they don't put themselves in a really bad position, because nobody wants them to be in that position. They're not helping anybody. Maybe they feel really benevolent for doing it. Please, please, please don't do that. Nobody wants you to. The recipient of your gifts would not feel good if they knew that you put yourself in a bad situation giving them that gift.